Good morning. It's good to be with you on this great day today. It's wonderful to continue in our time together in John's Gospel. Today we're going to read John chapter 20. We'll read verses 11 through 18, which um, John breaks this up, the resurrection narrative into three parts. First, we see the foot race part we talked about yesterday, where Peter and John run to the tomb and don't understand what's happening. And then we see what we're going to read today, which is his conversation with Mary. And then tomorrow we'll read about the disciples afterwards. And the three parts of this resurrection day in John's gospel, this is my favorite part of the story. So let's read John 20, verses 11 through 18. Now Mary stood outside the tomb crying. As she wept, she bent over to look into the tomb and saw two angels in white, seated where Jesus' body had been, one at the head and the other at the foot. They asked her, "Woman, why are you crying?" "They have taken my Lord away," she said, "and I don't know where they have taken him, where they have put him." At this time she turned around and saw Jesus standing there, but she did not realize it was Jesus. He asked her, "Woman, why are you crying? Who is it you're looking for?" Thinking he was the gardener, she said, "Sir, if you have carried him away, tell me where you have put him, and I will get him." Jesus said to her, "Mary." She turned toward him and cried out in Aramaic, "Rabboni," which means teacher. Jesus said, "Do not hold on to me, for I have not yet ascended to the Father. Go instead to my brothers and tell them, I am ascending to my Father and to your Father, and to my God and your God." Mary Magdalene went to the disciples with the news, "I have seen the Lord." And she told them that he had said these things to her. So we see here um Jesus' conversation with Mary Magdalene, and there's a lot of significant things here. Of course, one of the things I think it's important for us to remember is who was the first person to proclaim the resurrection when a woman. And in that culture, that shows Jesus, admiration for and use in how he uses women, because she was the first person to give witness and testify to to the resurrection. That's incredibly significant. So that's huge. So look who he uses, look who he speaks through. And it would not have been cultural what the culture was used to, but it was who Jesus chose to use. And so let's always be careful, friends. It's always so easy to write off people in it. It's always so easy. Let's just Jesus Jesus shows infinite patience and mercy. He doesn't write people off quickly, and neither should we. We should be people of second and third and fifth and sixth chances. And we should always also be people who um, understand that just cause it might not be the person that I'd pick to do the job doesn't mean it's not the person that Jesus picked to do the job. So I think that's significant. But what I really want to talk about is the interaction between Jesus and Mary. And this is, as I said earlier, this is my favorite part of John's account of the resurrection. So Mary is there, she had gone to the tomb early. And so she's almost like a bystander to what's happened earlier. She goes to the tomb early. She tells Peter and John, hey, they remove the stone. They run. They Once again, John has to include that he beat Peter in a foot race, which is my favorite thing that is included in all this. And they do this, and they do all their stuff, and they look around, they do all this, and then they go back to the disciples. Um, and that just leaves Mary. Mary's just left there by herself at the tomb. Just she's all alone. Everyone else is gone, and Mary's just there. And she she sees the angels and thinks that she doesn't know who they are, and she says, "Just tell me where they've taken the body. Just tell me where they've taken the body." And then she sees Jesus, and she sees Jesus. And let's let's think about how Jesus had saved Mary Magdalene. He had saved her. He had restored her. He had forgiven her, and she had and was one of his most loyal followers. We see all throughout the Gospel of John. We see all throughout the Gospels how much Jesus loved Mary Magdalene and how much she loved him. She loved him. She owed her life to him. When everyone else ran away, Mary stayed. When everyone else abandoned him, Mary stayed. She didn't abandon her Lord. And all the disciples that talk so much noise about being faithful and being there to the end and all these type things, they left. They left. And who was going on the tomb on the day of preparation to take care of the body? Mary was, not them, Mary. And who was left at the tomb? It's all said and done. Mary. So there she is. She's at the tomb. And she sees Jesus. Jesus is there. She sees him. And let's understand, friends, she knew who Jesus was. She knew what he looked like. She knew he was Jesus. But it says here, Jesus asked her, "Woman, why are you crying? What are you looking for? Who are you looking for?" Thinking him to be the gardener, she says, "Sir, if you can wait, just tell me where you put him and I will get him." So Mary sees Jesus. She has a conversation with Jesus. She sees him, she hears him, she talks to him, they have a conversation, but she doesn't recognize him. It isn't until he called her name that she recognized him. I'm recording this Wednesday morning, but you'll see this Thursday morning. A few hours from when you're watching this video, I will be helping with the service of a dear friend and church member who I loved deeply, and he loved me deeply. And there's been times these last 10 days I've not been able to pull it together. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty good at pulling it together typically. I mean, it's a gift I have. I've been through a lot in my life, so I tend to know how to hold it together in hard times. But I hadn't been able to this time, and I'm praying I don't break down in the service today. I'm actually gonna reference this text in the service today. It's one of my favorite funeral texts to reference. And I'm going to talk about my theory as to why Mary didn't recognize Jesus. My theory is the reason why she didn't recognize Jesus because the tears she was crying hid him from her. She couldn't see him because her tears blinded her. And it wasn't until Jesus called her name that she knew he was there. Now, he was there the whole time, wasn't he? He was resurrected. He'd already triumphed over death. He'd already been resurrected. Life had already won. So it wasn't that Jesus wasn't there. It just wasn't until he called her name that she knew he was there. So, friends, don't let the tears you cry hide the presence of Jesus from you. He's with us. He's never left nor forsaken us. He's always there, friends. He's always there. He never leaves us. His word tells us that. I've gotten to where now I don't pray often for Jesus to be with us or for God to be with us. I pray that we can sense his presence because he's with us. The Bible says if we make our bed in hell, still there he'll find us. So it's not that we're praying for him to be here. He is here. He's here. But our prayer needs to be that we can sense him or feel him or see him. Mary didn't see Jesus today. And my theory was the reason why she couldn't see him was because of the tears. The tears hid him from her. So today, don't, friends, no matter what tragedy or sorrow you're going through, don't let your tears, don't let the pain hide Jesus from you because he's here. So today, pray for those who grieve, pray for those alone, pray for those as I like to pray on Sundays. We pray for those for whom nobody else prays. Um, and know that God's with us, even and especially in the most difficult days. So pray for you today. I'll covet your prayers for me, and I will God's with us always. Have a great day. And tomorrow we're gonna pick up with another really cool story. So thanks for being with us. See you in the morning.